The Kennedy Center has always been more than just a building. It was created as a living memorial to President John F. Kennedy, a place meant to celebrate art, culture, music, theater, and the shared creative spirit of the American people. For decades, it has stood as a symbol of unity, reminding us that art can rise above politics, ideology, and division. That is why today's news about adding Donald Trump's name to the Kennedy Center has sparked such intense reactions across the country. For some, this decision feels like a dramatic shift in what the Kennedy Center represents. They see it as the blending of politics with a space that was designed to remain culturally inclusive and politically neutral. The Kennedy Center was never meant to belong to one party, one movement, or one individual. It was meant to belong to everyone. To those critics, adding Trump's name risks redefining the institution from a national cultural landmark into a political symbol, something that could alienate artists, performers, and audiences who already feel unheard or uncomfortable in today's polarized climate. Others, however, view the move very differently. Supporters argue that Donald Trump, as a former president, has had a significant impact on American history and culture, whether people agree with him or not. They believe that recognizing his name at the Kennedy Center reflects the reality that presidents shape the nation in lasting ways. From this perspective, the decision is not about politicizing art, but about acknowledging a modern chapter of American leadership and influence. To them, opposition to the name addition feels less about preserving tradition and more about rejecting Trump himself. What makes this issue especially sensitive is the symbolic weight of the Kennedy name. John F. Kennedy is remembered not just as a president, but as a champion of the arts. He famously said that when power leads people toward arrogance, poetry reminds them of their limitations. That philosophy helped define the mission of the Kennedy Center. Many artists and cultural leaders now question whether that original vision is being honored or reshaped into something entirely different. There is also the legal and procedural side of the controversy. Renaming or altering a national cultural institution is not a simple decision. It often involves boards, federal approval, and public accountability. Some lawmakers have already raised concerns about whether the move oversteps authority or bypasses necessary democratic processes. For them, this isn't only a cultural debate, but a governance issue, one that raises questions about how national symbols should be protected and who gets to decide their future. Public reaction has been swift and emotional. Social media is filled with arguments, jokes, outrage, and praise. Late-night shows, commentators, and artists have all weighed in, reflecting how deeply Trump continues to influence American conversation, even outside traditional political spaces. For some people, the story is less about a name on a building and more about the broader feeling that nothing in America remains untouched by political conflict anymore. At the heart of this debate is a larger question. Can there still be shared national spaces that feel neutral, welcoming, and unifying? Or has the country reached a point where every symbol is contested, every institution reinterpreted through political identity? The Kennedy Center controversy suggests that this struggle is far from over. It shows how cultural institutions have become battlegrounds for values, memory, and power. Regardless of where one stands, it is clear that this decision has reopened long-standing tensions about art, politics, and national identity. The Kennedy Center was designed to celebrate creativity and human expression. Whether this change strengthens or undermines that mission will depend on how the institution moves forward, how it engages artists and audiences, and whether it can continue to serve as a place where Americans, despite their differences, can sit in the same room and experience something meaningful together. In the end, this moment is not just about Donald Trump or the Kennedy Center. It is about how a nation chooses to remember its leaders, protect its cultural spaces, and define what unity looks like in a deeply divided time. Whether this decision becomes a footnote or a turning point in the history of American culture will be determined not only by policy, but by the public's response and the values they choose to defend.